Hey, I'm Suzy, and welcome to 30 Minutes of Dance. Today's class is a dancer cross-training workout for strong posture. So, clear your space. Let's stand tall today. I'll be using a yoga mat, a block, and a strap. You can also use a pillow instead of the block, and maybe a bathrobe towel or a scarf, something long instead of the strap. Feel free to be barefoot with me or wear athletic shoes, comfy dance shoes, even socks. Have your water nearby, and let's begin. So we'll start standing and working with actually the block to begin between the inner thighs. So you'll snuggle the narrowest option there for the block between the inner thighs. I'm going to angle just so that you can see. We're going to sit back into a squat here, or like a deep chair, as you pick the toes up and dig your heels in the sand. So first action, you might even keep your hands on your hips. If you need support, use a wall, use a chair, but you're snuggling the block, hinging at the hips. As if you had eyes on your sits bones and you're looking way back towards the chair, very low chair, behind you. All right, so our posture, we want to feel is coming from a strong foundation, strong legs. Keep the spine long, head to tail, reaching. Now if it feels good to you, go ahead and give me a little wave. As you sit back, you're going to reach the arms up. And then as you stand tall, hands to hips. Inhale, thumbs up, hands to hips. Feel like you're squeezing your backside there as you're activating the glutes to help lift you up and out of the spine. Inhale, reach back, and then exhale, hands to hips. Glance down, make sure that you can see your toes, that your knees aren't going forward at all, but instead sitting way back into that not so comfy chair. Good, squeezing the glutes, squeeze your backside when you come to stand tall. Good, one more. And then trade your block for your strap. So, as you come to open the strap up, make sure the buckly bit is in your hand so it's not going to flop around. And then, as we stand up, again, angling so you can see, take a little demi-plie, reach the arms straight up, and then sway right and left. Imagine you're trying to pull the strap apart here, and then sit back towards the chair, and stand tall. Again, swing back, and up. Linking the breath and your movement. When you stand tall, there's a tendency to maybe want to push the hips forward or lead with your rib cage. See if you can zip it all up through the center, pulling the strap. Inhale, stand tall, nice and high with the arms. Next time we come up, let's take that easy sway. Let the hips go with you here. Not forcing or pushing in any way. Just getting a sense of the rib cage lifting up and off of the hips. And then inhale, reach up. Shift to your right and your left. Now, you might sense that all four corners of your rib cage are lifting up and off of the hips. The hips are staying connected there and in the same line. But then what does it feel like to maybe take the hips in the opposite direction? Yeah, feel like you're pushing out through the hands, and there's this banana shape here as you tip side to side. Excellent. Release. Feeling like the arms are maybe a little longer. Give yourself a dance break here. We're going to put these two actions together. So, the block between your inner thighs. Inhale. Take the strap in your hand. Go a little wider, a little higher as you need. Or longer, yeah, here. And then as you inhale, you're gonna reach up and squeeze the block, sit back. Make sure your knees aren't going towards your toes, but you're really sending that awareness back. Imagine you're trying to maybe even do this at a chair. You could always sit in the chair and come back up. Now I'm keeping the arms up, option to do that. Option to keep the arms up when you bend and to bring the hands down as you stand tall. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. The knees will want to like sink in. Try to press the inner thighs against the block there, but imagine the outer hips are pressing wide. The outer knees are pressing apart. The outer ankles are pressing apart. Good. One more. Stand tall. Oh, wiggle it off. Set the block off to the side for a moment. I'm gonna take the strap a little bit wider. I need mine to be a little bit wider. So you're gonna inch your way out. And as you inhale, stretch the arms up. Take the legs slightly wider, maybe even turned out some. Turning the toes out, feet 2.5 feet perhaps apart. Turn the toes out slightly. And then reach up and out towards your right side and then back to center. Up and out towards your left side. We're pushing through. Inhale, exhale, right side and left side. Now keep the arms overhead and just shift side to side, like you're drawing a rainbow overhead. Good, come back to the middle, parallel. Now take the arms behind you any amount. So if when you're doing that you make a really face, back off, widen. You can go way out. Arms could be out as wide as your legs there. And just see if you can move through without too much drama, without any frowning. Yeah, so I'm just sort of playing with the hold of the strap and a sense of not gripping too much. Just inhale up, getting taller, making space across the low back. Well done. Come to the top and then scan to the right and the left. You're in an X shape here. Well done. Come back to the middle and release. So set the strap down and let's come down towards the floor. So as you inhale, reach the arms out and up towards the sky. Sit back like you were sitting in the chair. And then take your hands maybe to the block to assist stepping back to a lunge, to all fours. Now, as you come to all fours, settle the hips down towards your heels any amount. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, settle back down. And all fours. Now, if your knees are sensitive, fold the mat over, put a blanket underneath. If this is an option for you, we're going to use the block between the inner thighs again, so that we're building that core awareness, the internal rotation of the legs, to help come into a sense of the trunk of the body getting stronger. Yes, so as we think about posture, we really want to think about how the front and the back body come together, corset-like contraction. So shifting forward and back. Now, I'm going past all fours towards a modified plank. If that's for you, stay with it. If it feels better to be on your fingertips and just work towards all fours. Another option, to come off of your hands entirely, come to your forearms. I'm going to inch forward so I don't run out of room behind me there. And then come to a modified plank and then hike back some. Inhale forward, exhale back. If this is feeling like pins and needles at all with the elbows or feels kind of nervy, then try being in this variation with the palms together, coming forward and back a few times, or even palms up. Notice how that may change things. Forward and back. And then the next time you find a sweet spot. What feels the best to you? What feels like you can be with it and breathe deeply? Push the floor away. So you're sort of doming the upper back. Let the shoulders shrug and then push the floor away. Shoulders shrug, push the floor away. One more time. And then exhale, crawl your way back. Take the block and set it off to the side for a moment. And then let's come onto our belly. Yeah, so lower down. Coming into Sphinx pose. So we're on the forearms there. Pull your toes under. The music feels good. So just gonna dance it off again. And then from here, exhale, round the spine. So you're gonna try to pull your navel off the floor. Perhaps lift the pelvis. Consider lifting the thighs. Raise up. Looking towards the center of your mat. Tail drops under. And then inhale and lift. Coming into Sphinx. Exhale, hug, hollow, coil in. Imagine you still have the block between the thighs. And then inhale, extending. Once more. Now come all the way down. Let's rest. Stacking your head on your hands. And then bend the knees and let them swing and rinse the wiper side to side. Take a deep breath. Now, release the legs. Reach your arms forward. Give me a thumbs up here, yes. Now, you could rest your head on the floor. You could rest your forehead on the block, if that feels better. If this is stressful at all on your low back, you might even put a blanket or a little pillow underneath your abdomen so that you can feel like there's more support. Now, thumbs up, heads on the spine, looking down. Lift your left arm. You could just be lifting the thumb a little higher, yes. Lift the thumb, and then see if you can lift the elbow, lift the arm, and down. Now extend and try the opposite side. So the right arm, thumbs up, and lift, and lower. Now see if you can do this with your head down. I'm just here to be with you. So go ahead and take your gaze down, rest your head as you alternate right and left. Try this with the thumbs, with the palms open now, like you were flying. One hand and then softly the other hand. Notice does one version feel better to you? I know you're feeling this in your belly. Let's lift the belly. You might feel it through the whole spine, but let's call it a massage. Let's call it a massage for the abdomen. As you exhale, see if you can press into the navel, and then, or as you inhale, press into the navel, you're gonna press into the floor, and then as you float the arms up and down, you're gonna pull the navel in on the exhale. Good, rest. You can bend the arms and rest your head, bend the legs, and go side to side again. Breathe. Good, come back to center. So now we're gonna add an element. We're gonna add the legs to this. If it feels better for you on this second set, you could also just fold the arms, like cactus arms, downward facing. Rest your head on the floor or the support. And then lift your right leg and lower. Lift your left leg and lower. Lift your navel in order to lift the leg. Yeah, so the abdomen hollows out. On the exhale, you're gonna pull the navel towards the spine, and that helps lever the leg up. Just alternating. Yeah, like we're just kicking, little flutter kick here. Things are going swimmingly. Now rest, wiggle, bend your knees, dance a little. And then putting it together here, a variation on the theme. One option is to keep the arms at goalposts. You're gonna lift just your left hand and your right leg. And let's do just that again. So left hand, right leg. Now you can stay here, left hand, right leg. Or extend the arm out, left arm, right leg. Palms flat, thumbs up. Just notice the diagonal line, this extension, this pulsation, opening up the back of the body. Rest. Stack your hands. Windshield wiper the legs. Beautiful. Let's try the last round here, other side. So we'll start in this goalpost position. Heads on the floor or the block. And then inhale, you're going to lift the right hand, just your right hand, yes, and your left leg. Feel the diagonal. So right chest, left pelvis, the hand and the leg lift. Now you can stay with this, or extend the arm forward and flow in opposition, arm and leg. Arm and leg, maybe thumbs up. Does one feel better than the other? Lift the navel. Excellent, it's building. It's building. Lift the navel to lift the limbs. One more. Ah, well done. Bring your arms in close. Cobra. Then feel your belly off the floor. Woo! Press on back towards child's pose. The hips can sway. And again, this may not be for your knees, so stay a little higher and squirm it out. Now let's come to side lie. And we'll be using the block again, so have it nearby. And come on to your side. Lower down. So as we come onto the back, using the block again for our bridge pose. So we're going to snuggle the daylight out of the thighs there, hug into the block. Notice when you come into this that your feet are underneath your knees. And just tap the feet out a second. Don't forget we're dancing. Yes, tap your feet out some. Let your hips sway. And part of this strong, healthy posture, hopefully you're feeling the back core right now, all of that work lifting the limbs on your belly. You're more aware of the back of the body. We're more aware of that internal rotation, this sort of inner strength and centering that we want to feel from the feedback of the block. And with these strong legs, on the inhale, arms go up, hips lift, and we come into this squeeze of the blocks. You want to squeeze and lift until there's this diagonal line from your hips to your thigh bones, your knees. And then keep the arms overhead as you come back down. Now play with, do you need your feet a little bit closer? Does that feel like you have more grounding? Do you need the feet a little further away to honor your knees? And come up and down a few times. So part of standing tall is actually opening up these frontal hip points, these hip creases. All right, we want to power up and out of the glutes. But we also want to open up this front line so that we can open the chest and stand super tall. Okay, let's do 2 more of those. And arms overhead. Now come on down. Let's rest for a moment. Take the block out to the side for a beat. Yes. Bring the soles of the feet together and the knees wide, butterfly shape. That's a lot of work for the inner thighs. You should be feeling it some, that squeeze of the block or the pillow. You can use a folded blanket, kind of a thick folded blanket, yeah. So we just want to take a moment to open through the groin as well. Take a deep breath. Now exhale, plant your feet. We're going to come to a tabletop position now. Before we do that, notice when you bend your knees without the block to start, what parts of the back of your body do you sense are on the floor? Squirm into those. What part of the back of the head, the shoulders, does one feel like it's more connected than the other? How much of your low back is on the floor or not? And it's not, one's not right or wrong, just notice how your body aligns. Notice the hips. What part of the back of your pelvis, what part of the hips or your glutes, your backside do you feel on the floor? Now, bend your right leg and crease it to 90 degrees. Just gonna draw it in with the toes pointed and then lower back down. Let's put the hands on the hips and get a feel just of this on the left side. And back down. We'll go side to side. Again, aware, noticing like, okay, maybe there's more of one hip now on the floor. Is your low back pressing into the floor? Does your spine feel kind of in an arch? Or is there a neutral point, somewhere in the middle that you can meet yourself? Now, tabletop with the right leg. Take your hands by your side. If you need, you could plant the hands slightly underneath your hips if that's helpful on your low back. And then bring the left leg to meet the right. And then lower the right and lower the left. Harder than it looks. Left leg lift. Exhale. Right leg meets it. Left leg down. Right leg down. Now, can bring both legs up. If you need, keep the hands underneath your pelvis. And notice if you're arching the back, could you find a more neutral space to be? If you're really tucked under, can you back out of that some so that there's a small breeze underneath your low back? Right, so meeting in the middle. Now reach your arms straight up. Right, give me a little thumbs up. Maybe give me a little shaka sign here. Flex your feet. And then point your feet. And flex. When you flex your feet, feel like you're shrugging the shoulders down into the floor. So you're going to like roll your shoulders back. And then point your feet and reach your shoulders apart. So the arms are going to get a little longer, reaching for the sky. Then flex your feet and scrub the shoulders down the back. And then point the toes. And if shaka is more work on your wrist than you need, just play the hands. Shoulders shrug and point and reach. Shoulders shrug, point and reach. Good. Draw the knees in toward you to release the low back here. Good. Exhale, curl up if that feels good in your body. And then come back down. So second pass of this. And again, it's all about like gathering your energy along the spine, right? So in this, we're recruiting the core support from the head to the tail, right? The core is not your abs necessarily, right? It's your whole trunk of the body. So take the block between your inner thighs, your knees, and come to a tabletop position. From here, again, do you need the arms by your side to anchor? If you're bearing down and like, then don't use the block, right? Less is more awareness, yeah. Then we're gonna reach up like, there's a big hug coming down from the sky for you. And you're gonna pull the shoulders in and point your toes, and pause here. Squeeze the block, really like snuggle it out. And then flex your feet, squeeze the block. Notice how much of your spine is on the floor. What parts of your back are flush to the floor. Point your toes, keep kind of reaching the arms up, but the shoulders scrub down. and then flex and squeeze again. Then meet yourself in the middle with the toes. You're just gonna push through the balls of the feet like you were in high heels. And then shrug the shoulders down your back. Notice, again, this plumb line from the tail to the crown. Can you corset and contract? Can you gather at your center? Take the deepest breath of the day. Stretch the head and the tail in opposite directions. One more breath. And then exhale, release. Bring the block back down to the side. Soles of the feet come together again. So you're gonna let the knees open out. Take a deep breath. Feels good when it's over. Yes, when you're done with that, like, oh, there's all this power you're recruiting. Now, relax. Take the arms to, elbows are gonna come into the goalpost position once more. Deepest breath of the day. Sigh it out. And then plant your feet. Good. Shifting your weight now to your side and rolling up just the sideline for a moment. Rest on your right forearm. Yeah. I say rest. It was a little bit of work. Okay. You're gonna rest on your right side and then feel like you're pulling. Yeah, you're pulling the elbow towards the body and extending the spine. Now, it might feel interesting, only if it's interesting, to put the block between your knees and then squeeze the block. Pull and lift, extending the spine. Give it a nice active squeeze. And then rest. And squeeze. And rest. And squeeze. Maybe this time squeeze and lift your hips. And come back down. If that felt good, let's try it twice more. Squeeze and lift. One more. Squeeze, pull with the elbow. And rest. Walk yourself back up. Perhaps you release the block and let's just kind of crawl to the other side. So the first couple, just find your stride here. That sense of pulling the elbow into the body and extending the spine. Deep breath. Yes. Now, let's put the block in between the knees. Squeeze, right? So this same principle we've been working on is giving us a nice sense of support at the low belly, the low back. And then squeeze and release and squeeze and release. Squeeze and pull. Now, option 2, squeeze, pull, lift, and lower. Squeeze, pull, lift. One more time. All the way up. And rest. Set the block back towards the front of your mat. Come to all fours. Center. If it feels good to sit back, hips towards heels again. And then using the block or the chair, any support that you need to bring you towards a lunge. And then from the lunge, stepping your feet together or at the top of your mat. With a long spine, come to stand tall. How do you feel? I hope that you feel a little taller, more connected, centered, and strong. Have a beautiful day. I'm Suzy. I look forward to